Hey guys, what's going on everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, ladies and gents. Welcome on back to a brand new episode of Customs for the LEGO Jurassic World video game. I have to say, first and foremost, there's this new Jurassic World game that had a trailer a little while ago. I think it's going to come out right when the next movie's coming out, and it looks awesome. So let me know if you guys are excited about that as well. That was something that prompted me to make another episode of Customs for Dinos, because I was watching that trailer. I was like, oh my gosh, that looks so cool. I want to build some more dinosaurs. So that's the logic for today's episode. But I did go into the comments of the last episode, which is what I always do in order to decide what are we going to build next. And I found a few of you lovely folks leaving some awesome suggestions. And two that really sprung to mind were from Dr. J the Gangster, interesting name, and he or she comments saying, make a Carnage Dino. So that sounds pretty awesome. I'm going to go ahead and try to build that character here today. And then the other suggestion was a Flash build from Cole Moore, or maybe it's Moore, who suggests that we must build a Flash dinosaur, but it has to be a Gallimimus or Gallimimus as far as the type of dinosaur that we use for our Flash build. So of course, like always, don't forget guys, if you do enjoy today's episode of Custom Dinos and you want to see more of these in the future, hit that like button. Let's try to hit 1,000 likes, and hopefully once we reach that goal, I will go on ahead and get another one of these up and ready for you guys. Of course, like always, don't forget to also use the comment section down below to let me know what other characters should we build. So, Gallimimus, I think, is one of the smaller ones somewhere down here, no? Oh, there it is. Sorry. Alright, so here we go. So we have the Gallimimus or Gallimimus, however you want to pronounce it. And I think... what was this build? What did we do this? What character is this that we built here? It does look cool. I want to say it's Yoda, but I don't think it is. Nevertheless, let's get to work, shall we? So we're going to begin by building Flash as our first character design of the day. Perfect. I'm going to use that. No, I'm joking. Of course not. That would be weird. There's like Skeleton Flash. Indominus Rex, Gallimimus, and then Dilophosaurus. Okay, so here's the tricky part. I feel like this, or maybe even, yeah, this probably looks the best because it's kind of simple and not too much stuff going on as far as, like, you know, ears and so on and so forth sticking out. But it is a little generic looking. We could go for something like this, but I don't feel like that really represents Flash at all. Of course, with the teeth showing and everything, it makes it look a lot more intimidating, because that also would make it then a carnivore, whereas using the regular head, we keep it a herbivore. That's why the teeth are not so prominently showing, I guess. I never even noticed that was something that was a clear indicator of whether it's a carnivore or a herbivore. That's interesting. But nevertheless, I think that this could be kind of a good look too, because of course Flash usually has those like little lightning bolts on the sides of his head. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go with this one. I know it's a little generic looking, but I'm hoping that we can get a little bit of a cooler look by using specific colors and shades of paint. So hopefully that pays off. From there, let's move on to the torso. So for the torso, we have Ankylosaurus as an option. We have, of course, Gallimimus as an option. We have the skeleton body as an option, which always looks terrifying without the skeleton head or tail. It just looks weird, like something ate only the center of his body, which just looks bizarre. Then we've got Spinosaurus. And last but certainly not least is the Stegosaurus. So I want... again, it stinks, but I think that that's the only look that makes sense. I mean, Flash doesn't really wear any armor. I mean, if you look at something like Injustice, the Injustice universe, yeah, he does have different armor plates and everything like that. So we could, of course, on the basis of that, go on ahead and implement different components. But my hope here is that we're going to build Flash like this with the smooth body torso and everything like that. And then it would allow us to use the different body torsos, like Ankylosaurus, for example, or something like that, for reverse Flash, if you guys would like to see that on an upcoming episode. So let me know down in the comment section below. Then we've got ourselves the tail, which is, again, there's a few different options available here. And honestly, as generic as it sounds, I think we're just going to go with the Gallimimus. So the only component that we're going to be changing is the colors and most likely the pattern as well. So we have a cow print pattern, which doesn't really fit. I like the default one a little bit because it kind of looks like Thunderbolts, but we'll see what else is available to us. We have Giraffe Print available as well, which looks intriguing. Leopard Print, of course. Pixels. Polka Dots. Speckled. Stars. And Tiger Stripes. It sounded like I said Speckled, Stars, and Tiger Stripes, right? I kind of like the Tiger Stripes because they look a bit more like actual Thunderbolts, so I think we'll use those. But for now, let's get into the coloring side of things, because that will be, of course, probably the most crucial part about getting this right. I want to see the different shades of red. Like, I like this red quite a bit. I mean, pretty much that could be our Flash dinosaur right there, because, I mean, we have the main things taken care of. A little bit of yellow on the dinosaur, well, in this case a lot of yellow, plus of course predominantly red, so kind of done. But I do want to mess around with the shades and see what we could come up with. Like if we go with the super bright red, which is this, it does look cool as well. I like it quite a bit. I feel like this is a bit more like movie Flash, whereas this is a bit more like classic comic booky Flash. So it's a bit tough to decide in that sense. I just think that maybe having the mix of the two of them is really the best of both worlds, you know, where we get the brighter color across the bottom of the dinosaur and then the top half is actually a little bit darker. I know that technically speaking, it probably should be the other way around since light is usually coming down from, or coming from above. So the top would be a lot shinier, whereas the bottom could be shaded. And in fact, I actually do like that a little bit better. So I think we'll go with that as our final design. So if you yourself would like to rebuild this dinosaur in your game, you can go on ahead and use this DNA code that you see right now on your screen to go on ahead and put together this dinosaur for yourself. Of course, if you go on ahead and do so, please tweet at me. Let me know. I want to see your iterations of your dinosaurs. So tweet at Blitzwinger, or of course you can hashtag Blitzwinger custom dinos on Instagram. That would be cool too. All right, so from there, let's move along to our Carnage dinosaur. So this one's gonna be a lot more creatively liberating in terms of just because we're gonna have way more room to just, you know, go crazy because it's Carnage. He's crazy. It makes sense that we would build like a crazy looking dino. So with that all in mind, who do we use as the base? We could go for accuracy's sake in terms of scale and pick something a little bit on the smaller side like a Corythosaurus or maybe even something along the lines of a Pachycephalosaurus, something along those lines, but, or Pachycephalosaurus, I never know how to pronounce that correctly. But either way, I think we're going to go for, you know, I feel like I haven't really used the Baryonyx in a long while. So I feel like the Baryonyx could be really sweet. I just realized, by the way, we're going to have like a really red-heavy episode, right? Because we're going to have both dinosaurs with their primary color is red. I should have thought of that. My bad, because that is going to feel somewhat generic. So my apologies about that. Ooh, I like that. The Indominus Rex is probably the one I'm leaning to most right now. Or the Tyrannosaurus Rex. I kind of like... I think I might like the T-Rex even better. No, the bumpy parts on Indominus makes it look a little bit cooler. So I think we'll go with that. Then for the torso, we have Ankylosaurus. We have, of course, Baryonyx. We have the skeleton body. And we have the Stegosaurus available as well. I am leaning most towards the Stegosaurus. Because usually, like, symbiote-type characters have, like, little vines and little, you know, things sticking out of them, so it kind of makes sense. You could make the same argument for this, the Ankylosaurus. I just think it looks a little bit generic-y, so I'm going to go with this, and hopefully it turns out well in the final product. We have the Ankylosaurus tail, the Baryonyx tail, the Dimorphodon tail, skeleton tail, of course, and last but certainly not least is the Stegosaurus tail. And I think we are going to go with the Dimorphodon tail as our choice of the day. So, once again, we go to the color red. And I like that red a little bit better. I think that that works somewhat better as far as highlights are concerned. And let's see. We could bring the brighter red up top. Actually, you know what? I wonder what would orange even look like? Like an orange color. Is that kind of... Yeah, that is orange, but... does not look very good. I was hoping maybe that would create like a cool dichotomy between the colors, but it really did not work. And then the final color is going to be black, but we can change the pattern of this. So let's see. We have cow print, which looks terrific for something Carnage related, actually, which I never would have ever thought, but it actually does look great. We have the default print, which is just too simple. We've got Giraffe Print, which seems kind of the opposite of the default print, where it's a little bit too busy in my mind. And it's a little bit too organized for Carnage. Carnage should be Carnage. It should be chaos. It should not be this organized. Same thing goes for the Leopard Print. Pixels is all right. I think Pixels is probably the second best so far, actually. Polka Dots, I'm not a big fan of that. This looks great, too, actually. The speckled look looks great. Stars obviously does not work here. And then Tiger Stripes is also a little too organized. I think I like the cow print best, but I really like the speckled. So I'd probably say it's between cow print, speckled, and then possibly pixels. But I think I like the cow print having a bit more paint on the face. It looks a little bit cooler, so I think we'll go with that. So, what's our DNA code? Well, there you go. That is the DNA code for the dinosaur known as Carnogosaurus Rex. So, there you go. I just invented that name, if you couldn't tell, because that was a pretty awful name. But, nevertheless, let's go on ahead and travel over to... I don't remember the specific spot. I want to say it's over here, or maybe it's over here. I know that there is a spot. Okay, let's just travel to the gate part and then see if our characters are going to be able to access a dinosaur spawning area from here. It does not seem like it, so it must have been in this gate, probably, right? Let's find out if I'm right or wrong. Let's zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. Okay, so we can spawn in dinosaurs here. The issue is that, yeah, they're only small dinosaurs. So I could go on ahead and I guess, look, we could spawn in the Gallimimus or Gallimimus custom. So here's our Flash custom. Look at him go! Charge! Wait.
I need to get a
Now I realize I probably should have given him the Triceratops head so that he could charge, because that would make him run faster. But I still think he's pretty quick, you know, all things considered, considering he's a dinosaur and he's two-legged and everything. He gets going. I mean, these Dilophosauruses, I compete against them. Let's see. Yeah, they're pretty quick, actually. I'm not gonna lie, they are very, very, very quick. I'm also very pleasantly surprised that they're not attacking our Flash dinosaur, since Dilophosauruses. Okay, I always call them Dilophosauruses, but you know, Dilophosauruses, Dilophosauruses, potato, potato, tomato, tomato, right? All right. Let's move on to this area. It must be one of these gates that allows us access to, of course, spawn in our Baryonyx, or Carnage Baryonyx. Yep, this is the right one. Finally found it. So we're going to be able to spawn him in and take a look at that crazy, crazy dino. I really hope he turned out sweet, because he looked really cool in the preview window. So, but sometimes, like, the way that colors come off when you actually spawn the dinosaurs look a little weird. So we'll see how it turns out. But I'm hopeful that it does look really, really cool, because our Flash dinosaur actually looks better than it did in the preview window. Like, in the preview window, I was like, this looks a little bit too simple.
Yes, that could be right.
But I am hopeful
to be very interesting.
That
very interesting indeed.
the Baryonyx will be the same case, where it looks cool, but then it looks even cooler IRL. Well, not IRL, in video game, I guess. Dude, look at this!
I'm just working on a few theories about Triceratops.
I want to see that roar. Whoa, dude. This is incredible. Seriously, look at this dinosaur. I mean, he did not need to be this big, and now he's got stealth mode activated. So I know that obviously Carnage should have been a lot smaller. I understand that. Usually Venom is way larger than Carnage is. But since it's a symbiote and it can kind of take control over anything, I mean, remember that storyline? I don't remember if it was actually a storyline, or maybe it was just a concept art. But either way, it was basically the idea of Venom taking over the body of a T-Rex, and it was such a cool rendition of that character. So I really, really did like that quite a bit. So that's kind of what inspired this particular rendition on the Baryonyx. So with that all in mind, ladies and gents, let me know which of the two dinos did you like best. Was it the Baryonyx Carnage, or maybe it was the tiny but oh so very quick Gallimimus or Gallimimus, Flash. So let me know which of the two it was your personal favorite. I think I'm gonna go ahead and lean towards the Carnage. I mean, look at him. It's not that he's just bigger. He just looks way cooler in my personal opinion. Peace out, guys. I'll see you later, alligators.